Lately, it seems like if I'm talking about the OnePlus Open, I'm talking about the OnePlus Open 2. But today, that is not actually the case because the original OnePlus Open actually does have a fairly significant update available in North America right now. The 15.0.0.410 update is officially live. I have installed it on my device, and we're going to go over exactly what is new in this update. Now, I do want to quickly point out that the changelog that actually appeared on my device during this update process appeared to me to basically be like a rephrasing of the changes and additions from Oxygen OS 15. Pretty much everything on there was stuff that I had already covered. So what I did is I went to the community forum for OnePlus, and they had an entirely different changelog, and these things actually do appear to be different. So not sure what's going on there, but this is the changelog we're going to be working off of. That being said, let's take a look at what is new. So first off, we have these new AI features. So there's an AI reply feature, AI check for basically proofreading, and an AI rewrite feature. And these are kind of a little bit interesting, kind of strange, but we're going to talk about them. So let's open up the web browser first, and we'll take a look at the first one. So we are here on my website, and what I can do is pull out my smart sidebar, and I should now see AI Summary and AI Speak. Note that the changelog didn't mention AI Speak. Maybe it was already there and I just missed it. We'll talk about it quickly as well. But let's click on the AI Summary option. And what it's going to do is it's going to scan this web page, and it's going to begin summarizing it for you in this little pop-up. And this, generally speaking, works pretty darn well. AI Speak is exactly what you'd expect it to be. It's going to scan it, and then it's going to start reading it to you.
Update 15.0.0.4.
Yeah, seems absolutely fine. I would probably speed this talking voice up just a little bit, but you do have some other voices, at least one other voice to choose from. Seems absolutely fine. Now, I will say that there have been instances, little pop-up for the AI Speak thing that will stay there. I have had instances where I've been testing this and it has failed. I've had to do it again. So it may be a little bit finicky for you at times, generally speaking. It's there. Now, the other ones, right? So we have the AI proofreader and then the AI rewrite. You'll notice that they're not going to appear here. I keep failing to do that unless you are on the correct application. So what is the correct application? I assumed it would be anywhere that you can type things out. Any place that you can write, you should be able to use these tools. So I jumped over to Threads and I started a new post, typed out some stuff. I pull out my smart sidebar and nothing's there. There's just nothing there for me to do. And I want to also point out that if I go out of this and I'm on just a screen like my own profile page, there's nothing there either. All of these tools are looking for specific scenarios to actually be active. They don't just work everywhere. So keep that in mind. They're a little bit limited in that way. So here's an application where some of these things should work. This is Gmail. So let's pull it out and we see AI Writer is right there. And if you click on it, you see write, check, and then rewrite. But what I'm noticing immediately is that it's not actually pulling the text from my message over. You have to actually copy and paste that stuff in for it to work. OnePlus, it needs to grab the text. Why are you scanning the screen if you're not actually pulling the text in? In Google Messages, you do get this option for AI reply, and it should scan what's on screen. And this time it actually will understand what's on screen, and it should give you some decent little possible replies for what it's seeing. And this is, again, only going to work in certain messaging applications. Just so we're clear, if that context doesn't make sense, it's because I've scrolled way up in this message that I'm not showing you anything that was slightly more personal. Inside the camera application, if you go to portrait mode and click on your filters, they've added fresh, emerald, and clear as a few new filters, and I actually think that these look pretty good. This is a selfie that I took just a couple of minutes ago using the emerald filter, and I continue to be impressed and happy with the way that the OnePlus Open handles portraits. I mean, look at the crazy hair this morning. It did a really, really, crazy good job. They've added a few more things to your live alerts. If I turn on my flashlight, you can see now up here in that live alert section that the flashlight is now there, and you can quickly turn that off. If you charge the device, I think I've got a cable right here, you should be able to see a pop-up that says that you are fast charging. There you go. Let's click on this. Does it expand? No, it doesn't. It just sort of wiggles a little bit, and now it's gone. Did I dismiss it on accident? Or does it just only stay there for that long, which seems a little bit silly, like maybe that defeats the purpose? Nope, it just goes away after a little while. I honestly kind of like the idea of their live alert system, like what you just saw with the flashlight. That's a live alert. But it bums me out that it only works with so few things, right? Like if I want to have my music player up there, you got to use Spotify. You can see if I do use Spotify that you got this nice little player that lives up there and it expands and it actually looks quite nice. Like that's actually really, really cool. But if I don't use Spotify, maybe I use YouTube Music or something like that. If I hit play, nothing happens. There's nothing up there. You got to find a way to make this a bit more universal, OnePlus. Maybe one of you can explain this one to me. It says that you can now drag a floating window to make it full screen, but if I drag it to the right, it's going to hide. If I drag it to the left, it's going to hide. If I drag it to the bottom, nothing happens. If I drag it to the top, it dismisses. So I don't know where I meant to drag it to make it go full screen, but apparently there's some way to do it. Beyond that, it looks like now we just have some other fixes, a display issue, system stability, extending battery life in certain situations, screen flickers, Android security patches, and things like that. So it seems like that's pretty much everything that's new in this update. So all in all, I think that this is a pretty typical OnePlus update. There are some cool things here, and when they work, they're potentially pretty useful. The problem is they're not super well polished just yet. They don't work in nearly as many places as they should work, like Google's implementation of proofreading just being part of Gboard so that it works everywhere is kind of a nice way to go. I don't know how hard it's going to be for them to be able to just detect all text fields and do the proofreading there and actually pull the text into the thing, but that would help a lot. There are also some other things that just still aren't here, things that they showed in their Oxygen OS 15 hype video that they've just not delivered so far. Circle to search. Still waiting on that to pop up, and they showed it in that video. They had this really cool system in their theming where you would have a photo for your always on display, and then when you went to unlock it, it would kind of seamlessly zoom out of it, and then when you would unlock it, it would zoom out even further, and it would sort of dynamically flow between these different states. They've never rolled that out either. So again, it's a OnePlus update. It's got some good stuff, but it's also got some kind of mediocre stuff, and we probably still do need the rest of the stuff that they announced for Oxygen OS 15. Maybe we're going to get that stuff with OnePlus Open 2 sometime in the month of February, or perhaps early March if it's a little bit behind the Oppo Find N5. At any rate, guys, that is what I can find in this update. If you come across anything additional, something that I missed out, something that just wasn't in the changelog, drop it in a comment down below. If you start seeing bugs or other issues, any observations at all, be sure to drop those in those comments down below as well, guys. Subscribe for more content just like this, and until next time, stay nerdy, my friends.